All right, let's dive right in. Today we're tackling two of the absolute toughest conditions you're ever going to face out there on the road. Thick, dense fog, and a full-on winter storm. We're going to get into the nitty-gritty, the real-world decisions that make all the difference and keep everyone safe.
So, picture this. You're rolling down the highway, everything's fine. And then bam, a solid white wall of fog just appears out of nowhere. You've got 80,000 pounds behind you. What's the very first thing you do? It's that split-second instinct we're here to sharpen up.
First up, we're driving straight into that whiteout. You know, dealing with fog is one of the most disorienting things that can happen to a driver. So let's break down the survival guide, straight from the commercial driver's manual.
So what are those first crucial moves? Well, the manual is crystal clear. The most important thing is you have to act before you're swallowed by it. First, slow down. Not when you're in the thick of it, but before you even hit the fog bank. Second, get those four-way flashers on immediately. You need to be a Christmas tree out there, as visible as possible. And third, use your low beams. Your high beams are just going to bounce right off that fog and blind you.
Now this right here, this is one of those dangerous illusions that catches so many people out. You're in the fog, you see taillights up ahead, and you think, phew, okay, I'll just follow them. But here's the scary part. You have zero idea if that vehicle is even on the road. They could be pulling off, they could be on the shoulder, they could be stopped dead in your lane. Never, and I mean ever, use another vehicle's taillights to guide you.
You know, fog doesn't just mess with your eyes, it plays tricks on your mind. So the manual gives us a few key survival tips. First, obvious but critical, obey the fog warning signs. They are not kidding. Second, use your ears. Crack a window and actually listen for traffic you can't see. Also, dim your dash lights. If your cab is too bright, your night vision goes right out the window. And finally, stay cool. This is not the time to get into it with another driver. Just focus on you.
Okay, so you've done all the right things, but the fog is just getting worse. It's so thick you literally can't see the lines on the road. What is the number one non-negotiable rule in this situation? And there it is. The only safe move is to get off the road and stop. And I don't mean just pull onto the shoulder. That's asking for trouble. I mean find a rest area, a truck stop, someplace you are completely and safely out of the flow of traffic. You don't get paid to be a hero. When you can't see, you don't drive. Period.
All right, we made it through the fog. Now, let's switch gears to our other big challenge, winter driving. And look, winning on ice and snow starts way before you put the truck in gear. It all starts with a rock-solid pre-trip inspection.
In the winter, if you can't see, you can't drive. It's that simple. So your pre-trip has to be all about visibility. Are your windows and mirrors completely scraped clean? Are your wiper blades actually making contact with the glass, or are they frozen solid? Is your washer fluid going to freeze the second it hits the windshield, or does it have antifreeze? And finally, walk around and make sure every single light and reflector is clean. You need to see, and you need to be seen.
Okay, next up are the guts of your truck, the systems that winter just loves to torture. Make sure your coolant system has plenty of antifreeze. If you've got a winter front or radiator shutters, double-check that they aren't frozen in place because your engine will overheat. And this next one, well, this one's a big deal. Check your exhaust system for any leaks. Now, why is this so critical in the winter? Think about it. Your windows are rolled up tight to stay warm. A tiny leak in the exhaust can pump poisonous carbon monoxide straight into your cab. It'll make you drowsy, and if you don't catch it, it can kill you. This is a life or death check, plain and simple. Traction isn't just about what your tires are doing on the road. It actually starts with your own 2 feet. Before you even climb in, make sure your handholds, the steps, and the deck plates are totally clear of ice. You don't want your trip to end before it starts. Then, give your chains a good look over. And of course, the tires themselves are your connection to the road.
Let's talk tread depth. For your front steering tires, you got to remember this number. 4/32 of an inch. That's the legal minimum. And it's non-negotiable. Your steering, your control, it all rides on that front tread.
Now, for all the other tires, the minimum is 2/32 of an inch. But listen, these are the absolute bare minimums to be legal. When it comes to real-world safety in a snowstorm, more tread is always, always better. Okay, the pre-trip is done, the rig is solid. Now it's time to actually get out there and drive on that slick, icy pavement. This is where your skill, your patience, and your professionalism really shine.
Driving on ice means you have to change everything about how you drive. First off, your following distance, double it, triple it. Whatever you think is enough, add more. Every move you make, steering, braking, accelerating, has to be smooth as silk. Look way down the road, see your stops coming, and ease into them. And here's a great pro tip. When you first start out, if it's safe, do a little test brake check to get a real feel for just how slick it is out there.
Now, here's a really specific danger you might run into: wet brakes. This happens when you drive through deep slush or standing water. It gets inside your brake drums and suddenly you've got way less stopping power. Even worse, one brake might grab while another doesn't, which is a perfect recipe for a jackknife. This is seriously dangerous stuff. So, how do you fix it? Well, the manual has a clear step-by-step process. First, get your truck into a low gear. Then, gently, and I mean gently, press on the brakes, just enough to create a little drag. Hold that light pressure while you drive a short distance. The friction creates heat, and that heat boils the water right out of your brakes. When you're done, find a safe spot and do a quick test to make sure they're back to normal.
We've talked about the weather, we've talked about the truck, but what about the most important piece of equipment in the whole rig? The driver. You. Especially in these conditions, fatigue is a killer. So, is being a little sleepy just, part of the job?
The answer from the manual couldn't be more clear: absolutely not. It's not an inconvenience, it's a stop sign. If you feel that wave of sleepiness hit you, you pull over, you stop driving. A cup of coffee isn't going to save you, and an open window won't either. The only, and I mean only, safe cure for being tired is to sleep.
So, we've gone over a ton of rules and procedures today. But being a true professional, especially when the weather turns nasty, is about more than just checking boxes. It's about having the right mindset.
And this quote, man, this just nails it. This is the whole point. It's not about memorizing facts for a test. It's about being able to connect every one of these little details, tread depth, wet brakes, low beams, to the split-second decisions you have to make behind the wheel.
And that's really why all this matters. Every single check you do, every single time you increase your following distance, that's a choice you're making. And in conditions like these, that choice is very often a life-saving one, for you and for every other car on that road.
So we're going to leave you with this one question. You've got the knowledge now. You know what to do. The real question is, do you have the professional discipline to do it every single time, no matter what? Stay safe out there.